Have you ever wondered what the world is really made of? I mean, what are the absolute fundamental building blocks of reality? Well, that's exactly what we're going to find out.
So just take a second and look around you. Maybe you're at a desk or you're holding your phone. It feels solid, right? You can tap on it. But what is it actually made of if you could zoom in way, way in?
Now, the answer that probably pops into your head right away is atoms. It's what we all learned in school, right? Everything is just a bunch of tiny little atoms. And you know what? For a long time, that was a great answer. But it's not the whole story. It's not even close.
Because, see, that first answer just leads to a much more interesting question. If your desk is made of atoms, well, what are the atoms made of? What's inside the inside? And that's where things start to get really cool.
Okay, so for our first stop on this journey, we're going to zoom into a place that probably feels a little familiar: the nucleus, the very heart of the atom. The classic picture of an atom is pretty straightforward. You've got this dense little core, the nucleus, and it's packed with positively charged protons and neutrons, which have no charge. And then you've got these little electrons with a negative charge just zipping around the outside. Protons, neutrons, electrons, that's the basic trio. And what's wild is just how much protons and neutrons have in common. I mean, they live in the same place, the nucleus. They have almost the exact same mass. The only real difference that sets them apart is their electric charge. One's positive, one's neutral, that's it. And for decades, physicists thought this was it. This was the bottom floor of reality. Protons, neutrons, electrons, they were the fundamental, indivisible bits of everything. But science never stops asking questions, and it turns out we were wrong. So wrong. And this is where reality gets much, much weirder. So, if protons and neutrons aren't the end of the road, what is? Get ready, because here comes the first huge reveal on our trip down into the subatomic world.
Everybody, meet the quark. This is it, a truly fundamental particle. As far as we know today, you literally cannot break a quark down into anything smaller. These are the honest-to-goodness building blocks of the stuff in the nucleus.
So, how do you make a proton out of these things? Well, think of it like a recipe, or maybe building with Legos. You take two of what are called up quarks, you grab one down quark, you stick them all together, and bam! You've just built yourself one proton. And this is the key takeaway here. Protons and neutrons, they're not fundamental at all. They're basically just little containers, tiny little bags that are each carrying around a trio of quarks. We've just peeled back another layer of reality. But it turns out quarks aren't the only game in town. See, all matter is really built from two big families. You've got the quarks, which are kind of social. They always group together to build bigger things, like our protons. And then you have their cousins, the leptons. The most famous lepton? The electron. And unlike quarks, leptons are perfectly happy just hanging out by themselves. Okay, so we've got our building blocks now, the quarks and the leptons. But, a pile of bricks is just a pile of bricks. It's not a house. You need some kind of mortar to hold it all together. So what's the cosmic glue that keeps all these particles from just flying apart? Well, the answer is a whole other category of particles, and these are called bosons. These are the force carriers. You can think of them as the universe's messengers, constantly zipping between the other particles, carrying the fundamental forces, and basically telling everything how to interact. They are, quite literally, the cosmic glue. And those messengers carry four fundamental forces. First, there's the strong nuclear force, which is insanely powerful and does exactly what it sounds like. It binds quarks together and holds the nucleus together. Then there's electromagnetism, which gives us everything from light to all of chemistry. The weak nuclear force handles radioactive decay. And finally, good old gravity, which takes over on the really big scales. And I want you to know, these forces aren't just some abstract idea. They're incredibly real. The solid feeling of the chair you're sitting in right now, you're not actually touching it. No way. What you're feeling is the electromagnetic force from the electrons in your body repelling the electrons in the chair. You are literally floating on an invisible field of force. How wild is that? So we've got quarks, leptons, and the bosons that carry the forces. How does this all fit together? Well, it's time to assemble all the pieces and look at the complete picture, which happens to be one of the most successful theories in the entire history of science.
And there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the standard model of particle physics. This chart, this is basically the official parts list for the entire visible universe. It is one of humanity's greatest achievements, our best map of what everything is made of and how it all holds together.
And if you look at the chart, you can see our three families right there. You've got the quarks, our building blocks. You've got the leptons, the standalone guys like the electron, and you have the bosons, the force-carrying glue. It all just fits.
And the power of the Standard Model is just mind-blowing. It's made predictions that have been proven right down to insane levels of precision. In giant particle colliders, it explains everything from why the sun shines to how your computer works. It's a monumental triumph. But there's a catch. Every single one of those particles, every quark, every lepton, every boson, the whole beautiful, successful Standard Model, all of it, only makes up 5% of the stuff in our universe.
So let that sink in. Our best, most complete theory of reality only describes 5% of what's actually out there. So what on earth is the other 95%? What is this mysterious stuff we call dark matter and dark energy? Well, that is the biggest mystery in physics today, and maybe a story for another time.